Ladies and gentlemen, Zangpo, and welcome to match day 65 of the BoB Bhutan Premier League here under the beautiful conditions at Changlemetang after that little spell of drizzle early on. Tonight, it is DRUKPA FC against THIMPHU City FC. And if history is anything to go by, we could be in for another amazing and fiery encounter. When these two sides last met, neither was willing to give an inch. A 1-1 draw, 6 yellow cards, and in the final moments, a red card for each side. So if you're wondering whether there is any history between these two teams, there certainly is. For DRUKPA FC, tonight represents an opportunity to climb back into the upper half of the table. 3 points would take them level with THIMPHU on 19 and put the top 3 within much clearer reach. But for THIMPHU City, the stakes are even greater. The citizens have already been forced to settle for a draw against Serang, a result that allowed league leaders Paro to stretch their advantage to 7 points. And with Paro looking increasingly difficult to stop, THIMPHU City simply cannot afford to keep leaving points behind. Every match from here becomes crucial. Every mistake for THIMPHU City more expensive, and every 3 points could be the difference between staying in the title race and watching the leaders disappear over the horizon. DRUKPA have an opportunity today to ignite their climb, and THIMPHU City have the opportunity to respond to the pressure. And after the drama of their last meeting, there is certainly no shortage of motivation on either side. Ladies and gentlemen, here are your warriors. THIMPHU City in red and black, DRUKPA FC in their white. But before we begin, here's the national anthem. If you're able to please rise for the national anthem. With that, Kusangpo, and welcome again. Before we dive any deeper into the match, let's take a look at the starting 11 for both sides. For DRUKPA FC under head coach Kinza, it is Sachin Jha, their goalkeeper, Minchin, alongside Punsa Jimmy Bella, Woo Kyung-yun on the flanks with Jimmy Tenzin, Barun Kangimam up front, Philip Eugene, Kinerapke, Ishiwanchu, Fahad Simuri, and Chong Lee for DRUKPA FC. Quite a strong lineup, but again, you have to be amazed by the sheer depth. They have a lot of big names on the bench going forward as well, in guys like John Flynn, Rehan Rajiv, Samtin Norwikin, Stoke Jibin Lee. But equally as impressive are THIMPHU City FC going into the match today. Under coach Rolo Zapata, it is sitting the end of their goalkeeper with centre back Kushan Ganijanov and Chieno. Their newest signing, Alijanov, also getting the start today. Jignam Seltop, Jonathan Zorella, who was the recipient of the red card during their first meeting, captained by Organ. Karma Sherop is getting the start alongside Kinza, Trish Topden, Dawood Sitting, and Sadiq Suli. Right now tied at the top, a 4-way tie, an impressive stat up front. Riz Doji from PFF, Sadiq Suli from THIMPHU City, Paros Yuta Mishima, and Sadiq Suli himself alongside Transport United's Abayomi, tied at 10 goals to their name. 4 names up at the top of the top scorers. A more evenly matched game today, but again, as history tells, these 4 up today will have an arduous task up in front. Referee Chokyom, assisted by Purponchu and Sering Punso and Virendra Rai, the 4th official. Much to do today. Beef between the two already, bad blood already, and that should be enough motivation for an explosive start. But before we begin, do let me know which team you think will come out on top and what you think the scoreline will be at its end, because last time it was 1-1, but this is by no means the same teams facing off against each other. They have been battle tested, they have been worn down, they have found their identity going forward. For THIMPHU City, it is the team-based aggressiveness and their Argentinian coach that has found tremendous success for this year's campaign. For DRUKPA, it is the creativity of Fahad Simuri that they may be looking forward to up front. That back line, no doubt with regards to their quality, counters may be what they look for. But again, Fahad Simuri, can he be up to the task today? THIMPHU City in red, DRUKPA in white. Ladies and gentlemen, all we have is the countdown before we get things going. And this is your commentator, Uguntesh Toji, to take you through the match.
Ladies and gentlemen, the moment we've been waiting for. Let the countdown begin. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And with that whistle, now we are in action. THIMPHU City will get the first touches of the game. So far, an impressive run coming in from THIMPHU. 27 points to their name, almost went band for band, was within 2 points of Paro until their run simply crumbled. That most recent match down in Tirang, where they were hunting for a victory against the home side, could not find one. Did at least get a response in from Sadiq Suli, 26 minutes in, to force at least a 1-1 draw situation where they came out with a point at least. But for DRUKPA, the opposing result, in fact, 1-3, the result of their most recent match versus Paro. Fahad Simuri came in clutch to deny the clean sheet. But right now, THIMPHU City, a team with a completely different play style. You can argue that they are similar to Paro in that they look for goals, they hunt for those opportunities up front. But they are a bit more tactical, they are a bit more slow, they are a bit more traditional about it in a way, if you think about it. And right now, because of that hard work, they get an opportunity early on. Jonathan Zorella right up alongside Richard Sania as one of the league's most producive creators. THIMPHU City's top assist to his name. Almost got it past Philip Eugene as well, but no success. Tawa, last year's recipient of the highest award here in the season. But this year, his production just hasn't really been up to the mark. Did get a couple of goals to his name too, I believe, so far, but we know his production may want a bit more this time. Does let it off for Organ, who was the scorer for THIMPHU City. In there assaulting, but Kinzatashi, opportunity early on, came off the crossbar. Organ looking for the follow-up, but Chong Lee able to get right to it. An early jump scare, 2 minutes in on the dot, as well as Kinzatashi found himself with an unnatural bit of space to let that one off. THIMPHU City with almost an early lead. But without seeing it go in, DRUKPA will have their hearts elevated. But look at the shot. Did well setting it out. Woo Kyung Yun did have the positioning covered. Sachin Jha just got off with the whippage on that ball. Went in the opposite direction. Would have surely beat Sachin Jha, especially with the pace too. But hopefully this is a situation THIMPHU City can recreate again and again, because DRUKPA may want to get themselves a bit of breathing room and a bit of their focus committed to this game. Zorella. Karma Sherab on the right has a shot come in, and despite how dangerous it looked, will swerve away from the top corner of the post. Two close chances, a lot of space given away by DRUKPA inside the first 3 minutes of the game, and THIMPHU City gladly taking this. DRUKPA may eventually want to keep a couple of touches away from THIMPHU City, so that at least the momentum that THIMPHU has gained with those two shots are dwindled, at least ever so slightly. Is a reality they for sure did not expect this early on. Has one of the most exciting back line across the entirety of the league. Bella, as beloved, did get his chance up to shine in the national squad alongside Min Shin, Woo Kyung Yun and Jimmy Tenzin. Lots of beloved names, but right now may need a bit more help in midfield from Burun Kangemam and Kinle Rapke to cover for those shots coming in from THIMPHU from range. The citizens do have the quality to continue on with those shots. But right now it is a throw-in all the way inside their own half that they are forced back into. Sadiq Suli forced to retreat. Cross played up. Organ does get a header up. Able to keep it towards Dawa. It will be a throw-in the other way. Strong contest between the two. Again, the expectations for physicality going into this match are at an all-time high. It was 4 minutes. All it took for Bella to get the first yellow card of the match during their first meetup. Chiano Indo all the way from the other end for THIMPHU City. Took only 10 minutes to get his yellow card. Ugen Toji from THIMPHU City followed it up 16 minutes in, and Sullivan 38 minutes got his first yellow card. 4 yellow cards inside the first half. Does attest to the challenges that both of these teams will really love forwarding against each other. But right now, Karma Shirap sat himself way too deep in, and that ball just went over. Loved the attempt, but just missed the connection. Sachin Jha did have an amazing position in response to that possible attempt from THIMPHU City. Does speak for great signs for DRUKPA to come, as despite the attempts they have conceded so far, that have come against them so far, The scoreline still nil, 6 minutes in, and Tawat sitting. Has really been a while since the winger has tried a shot for himself from a range. Siddiqui Jawara from Paro really having his share of fun, but again in the league here in Bhutan, we all know Tawat sitting is the man we look forward to for these kinds of shots, and this season hasn't really met his quota. Space popping up on that right flank. Sadiq Suli hunting for an exploit. Kushan does play a clean ball up, but Sadiq Suli not quite the best of decisions, letting it roll. Bella with an easy read and a clear. Kushan played over to Sadiq Suli, can't keep it towards Karma Sherup, and now Bella with a clean pass out again. At least in the first half of the season, Bella just phenomenal in his defensive ability alongside Woo Kyung Yun and Min Shin. But in the second half of their campaign thus far, Bella has been a bit shaky, especially when it comes to keeping those short passes towards his teammates and those clearances. He could have sent those long, but while trying to keep them short and towards teammates, it has conceded in a lot. It has turned out in a lot of opportunities over for his opposition to capitalize on those mistakes. Hopefully Bella keeps those to a bare minimum for today, because the recent games have been not really up to par for Bella. Strong as always, posted up against Sadiq Suli, but THIMPHU City will get that chance for their second corner of the day. Jonathan up for the task again as a creator, no doubt with regards to his quality. The only question is, can he bring his A game today, where it really matters? Paro ever so steadily escaping their grasp. They may need the 3 points as a header does connect, but it is sent down towards the ground by Chieno. Cleared off by Jimmy Tenzin, throw in from a much deeper area of the pitch. Played back, Jingnam Seltop. Philip Eugene up front. Assignment taken on by Alejon Alejonov. Tried to play it back towards Chongli, but Jonathan Zorella right in the middle of that space. Fahad. Still Fahad again. All eyes should be on 77 for DRUKPA, especially heading into the match today. For the offensive workload for DRUKPA FC. Does have the quality, does have the confidence to put up goals, whether it be through assists, whether it be through attempts from his own part. But right now it is THIMPHU City taking it quick. Sadiq Suli, the recipient. Min Shin putting up pressure, may have the weight advantage, but Sadiq Suli somehow still able to keep his balance. Fair play from Min Shin first time around. Sadiq Suli a bit disgruntled after not getting the call on those repeated challenges mounting on from Min Shin. Went in for a play of redemption from his zone. Ended up getting the whistle instead. Barun Kangyamam, a name we haven't seen in a long while. Brought in very early for DRUKPA's campaign, has been sitting on DRUKPA's bench for so long. Nice to see him back, however. Hopefully he is able to contribute to today's game. Time and time we've seen players who've been sat on the bench for far too long see an immense drop in quality. Hopefully they are not affected today, but just a reality that could possibly be the case for DRUKPA. THIMPHU City. Smart thinking from Dawa. Did not really have the line to force a shot or even a cross, given the fact that Jimmy was right up in front, but does at least force out a corner. And now Jonathan, the chance to set up one more opportunity. A lot of corners already for THIMPHU City inside the first 11 minutes of the game. And they did come close. Chieno did get a header once, but just unable to guide it towards the target. May look to send it towards either Chieno or Sadiq, who are posted right up around Sachin Jha. Dawa and Organ possibly looking for shots. Bhutan Kangyamam making sure that the wider option is closed down. Missed everybody. Almost went in as well. Almost a close call. DRUKPA may not really have been intentional, but again did go their way, so it will go to Sachin Jha. Bella can't quite get the elevation he wants. Now the 21-year-old. Back to Min Shin. Bella, the wider option, possibly the target as well. Sherup making a play on the ball, does force it enough to cause a bit of confusion in midfield. Woo Kyung Yun forcing that ball up, and Chieno will keep it towards Jonathan Zorella. Amazing pass up front, and now Dawa mashed up against Jimmy. Feint, left foot, space open up past the legs of Jimmy Tenzin. Chaos inside, and Sadiq Soli did get the turnaround, but a bit of a fumble will send ball out for a clearance all the way back towards THIMPHU City's backline. So a lot of teams for THIMPHU City who has gotten the start this time around. Both teams, in fact. For THIMPHU, it has been Kamar Sherup who has been an option off the bench that has come in. A legend of their Uzbeki defender, playing centre back instead of Kushan Ganijanov, who just made that mistake, turned it over to Philip Eugene, and now back over to Bhutan Kangyamam. Fahad Simuri the target, but Kushan able to redeem himself. Kinzatashi a bit more freedom today to operate up front, with Kushan Ganijanov covering his flank, and now Kinza on the flank. Sadiq Suli does exploit the space off of the gravity of Kinza, looking for that shot, but that pass intercepted by Bella. Close call coming in. Just two it took to dribble all the way in between those four defenders from DRUKPA. Made the situation look as dangerous as they could among the pair of them, but wasn't really enough to get the job done. Also, last time around, during their first matchup in round one, it was Jonathan Zorella who got the red after the game. In fact, had a bit of a tussle with their bench. And DRUKPA, it was Kaman Namgil who ended up getting a red. But did have a lot of issues going into those red cards as well. A lot of intervention from the audience as well. But today DRUKPA FC's cheering squad does seem to have chilled down a little bit, at least in the second half, after that bit of an issue with THIMPHU. Back out to Sachin Jha again. So far up front, looking promising. Dawa does feel like he has a bit more space for his own operations. They do have Bakrom on the bench, who typically started recently alongside Sadiq Suli as the next forward option. Does have an equally impressive production to boast as well alongside Sadiq Suli. 6 goals to his name. Does make for a lethal duo up front. But again, last game versus Tirang, it was Dominic Douglas who got the call up instead to the squad, instead of Bakrom. And right now that ball couldn't have been cleaner. But Jignam Seltop too far behind. Again, for THIMPHU City, Jitsin on the bench, Gilipinger on the bench, Tsirinpeza on the bench, Dominic Douglas on the bench, and Kush Bozorov on the bench. The guy with the mask, as I'm sure you'll remember. But Sadiq Suli, the chance again, but three good attempts from THIMPHU City with a lot of space, taking that option mid-range. But none of them has connected. The first chance came in 2 minutes. On the dot from Ginzatesh Topden was the most impressive shot today so far. Kamasherup did get an amazing shot as well. And right now Sadiq Suli warmed up properly all across the board. THIMPHU City to have the more dominant side to the possession, at least inside the first quarter of an hour of the game. DRUKPA FC may look to respond. Started off their campaign as a more of a counter-attacking team. Eventually, with the addition of Fahad Timuri, they have shifted away from that identity a little bit. Instead of looking to blitz through sheer numbers, did have Leon Sullivan and Matthew Musa early on, alongside Philip Eugene, that they could rely on in those counter-attacking opportunities. But right now, Fahad Timuri has taken that identity and warped it into completely different as THIMPHU City. Sadiq Suli! The second attempt he's gotten back-to-back as well. Set up quite lovely there with a run down from the flank. Thought that had a really high chance of going in, but again, without netting it, the result still staying the same. Couldn't keep it grounded, but again, look at the effort from the captain of DRUKPA. Bella posted right in that line alongside Sachin Jha. Two amazing goal line clearances for Bella this season, and it is steadily counting on. But right now we have Philip Eugene for DRUKPA down on the ground. Again, number 3 for THIMPHU City on screen right now. Alejan Alechanov, not a part of THIMPHU City's opening campaign, but the Uzbeki brought in steadily. A lot of Uzbeki presences again coming into Bhutan. Does make for a good inflow of talent, a bit more variety in terms of nationalities we got here going on. And also with the rule changes, with the 3 more additional players allowed regionally in your squad, making it a total of 8 foreign players, we have also seen a lot of new players coming in from India, from Nepal. DRUKPA FC making the most out of that situation. Alongside Tirang does have the better Indian signings. Trying again on the left this time. That run perfectly timed from Sadiq Suli. Minchin late to the challenge. Sadiq Suli does stumble. Ball is still his. Jignam Seltop looking to play it in with that left foot. Touch comes in off of Tawa. Woo Kyung Yun took a bit of risk forcing that header out. Had Sachin Jha right there, but now Kushan Ganejanov. Bella just in the nick of time, heading it away from Organ Wanchu. Possession still. Jignam. Tawa on the left flank, edge of the box. That situation has blessed Tawa with a lot of goals, but right now forcing a slight retreat as Tawa will keep it on. Right foot floats it away from Sachin Jha. Had that chance for Kamasherup to get an amazing goal in, but that header sent it straight down to the ground and towards Sachin Jha. A lot of chances missed for THIMPHU City 20 minutes in. This situation may not be one THIMPHU City wants to be in for long. You think something is going in your place, eventually stagnate into remain stagnant in the mood of wanting to score up front, and eventually shift their positioning slightly up front. That may very well be a chance for DRUKPA to counter, but hopefully THIMPHU City are able to remain disciplined enough as DRUKPA through Minchin force a ball overhit, and it will go out for Tsering Dendup. Bella and now Starks gets that bounce off of Sadiq Suli, and Sachin Jha able to clean it away in the nick of time. But pressure still not enough. Jimmy, head up. Jignam Selto looking to keep play alive, but unable to do so. Still there throw-ins to take. So THIMPHU City right now, no need to rush. DRUKPA on the other end has not managed to get a single shot off over against Tsering Dendrup. All their passes are either going very short from Bella or going very long from Min Shin. And without any pass coming in between, it is becoming an arduous task up front for DRUKPA. Fahad Timuri may want to get himself involved sometime soon, but right now Chieno Indo coming in strong. Man down for DRUKPA, possession for DRUKPA as well. Ishiwanchu alongside Nyakam was the two-pronged spear of DRUKPA FC that got them through the qualifiers in the first place, that brought them to the top flight of Bhutanese football. Still remember the first two games of DRUKPA FC, who were back then Namla FC. It was Yishe who opened up with a hat-trick, followed up with a goal from Nyakam. And then in the second game, it was Kenchatopke who had a hat-trick followed by a goal from Ishiwanchu. Amazing partnership between the two, but right now Nyakam is on the bench. Did see him start in the second round for DRUKPA, but right now does seem to have settled back as an option off the bench. But right now, chance coming up again for DRUKPA. May not want to force an outlet that early. Cross comes in, but over the line and out. Lejonov. Sadiq Suli saw an excellent display of ball control and ball keeping ability, especially as the target man in the first couple of games of the season. That first game versus THIMPHU, I believe, was just simply outstanding from Sadiq Suli. And again, by no means has he been awful this season. He has been an amazing top scorer for a reason. But right now, that touch was just simply awful. And now Tawa taken away inside the box. Pass, Sachin Jha, and out! What a miss from the winger. Tawa. If DRUKPA's heart rate were not in dangerous levels before, it should be now. So many misses for THIMPHU as they struggle on with that curse of theirs. Look at the opportunity again. Had Sadiq could have passed, went for the goal and missed instead. By no means was that shot a bad decision as well, because it is Dawa after all. But hopefully THIMPHU City does not come to regret this miss down the line and down the match. Lejonov playing it up front. Sadiq Suli. Touch sends it past Min Shin, and now Dawa. Jignam. Kept back towards Jignam. Jonathan, not much space. Kinle does well taking it away, and now Chieno Indo played back towards Tsering Dendrup, who has a lot of space up in front if he wants to take it up front himself. THIMPHU City looking to stretch DRUKPA a bit thinner. They are not falling for the bait, but that does open up just enough space for Tawa. But unable to get the delivery. Pinpoint, it is Jimmy Tenzin who heads it away for a throw-in for DRUKPA, THIMPHU City. Tawa with a lot of space again, left foot. The weight of that miss seems like it is still lingering in the back of the winger's mind. A bad decision this time. Karma Sherup tried to let it roll past Woo Kyung Yun, who had none of it. And now Kilerabge over to Barun Kangibam. Barun up front towards Yeshe. A bit of a tussle coming in between the two. Referee does allow play to build on, but Jonathan immediately takes it away. And now up front they do have three, Organ and Sadiq Suli. Sadiq, Jimmy closing in. Sadiq loses balance. Has Karma Sherup posted behind Sadiq Suli, and that may have been a bit too much. Sadiq Suli grappled down by Jimmy. A closer look at the replay instead. Well, no argument with that. Jimmy, for sure the one initiating that. Not quite sure how he was down. Yellow card over to Sadiq Suli, but it is still THIMPHU City that has gotten a clean chance right along the line of DRUKPA FC. Daud sitting, waiting for an option out wide for Hatimuri closing in to deny that chance. It may very well be a cross pass Sachin Jha if Giano and Sadiq Suli can get their run time to perfection. That aerial ability may be put to the test. Can Jonathan get it right? It is. Swung in, and Min Shin able to get a great read on that. Went for it straight. And the Korean giant denying that chance. THIMPHU City forced a bit further out, but it may be a better range to attempt for a cross. Kushan Ganejanov signaling behind Sachin Jha, who can't quite be bothered to track back. Cross is right in the middle. Chaos keeps it in, but no success on the execution. It will go the other way. DRUKPA take a quick one. And now for Hatsumori offside. Flag up. THIMPHU City to take it the other way. Quick possessions coming in from both teams, looking to heat up. Again, after all the mistakes THIMPHU City has made so far. 29 minutes in, still goalless here at Chang Limitang. Chance over on the flanks. Jonathan inside, right foot, maybe coming in, but overhit again. So many chances opening up for THIMPHU City, and right now DRUKPA not really having to work that hard to get those shots away from their net. THIMPHU City, their own undoing has been their own inability to put that ball behind the back of Sachin Jha. And as we've seen so far this season, DRUKPA FC only need one swing in momentum to get their goals in. On screen, the Korean Woo Kyung-yun typically plays side back, but it can move in to the middle. Has been the creative spark for so many DRUKPA offense build-ups. But with Chong Lee now in the mix down the middle, that delegation, that responsibility has dwindled down a little bit. Lejon Kinzatashi in the middle. Not a responsibility we see him bear. Him and Jegnam down on the flanks is where we typically see them. But right now Karma Sherup. An unfortunate miss and cleared off towards Fahad Simuri, but now man down for DRUKPA. It will be the home team's possession. Bella. Woo Kyung-yun. Risky play. Let it roll. And now Sadiq Suli. Chance to play it up to Tawa. That is past Min Shin. But Sachin Jha with the pickup. Philip Eugene played over. Fahad Simuri looking to rush Kushan Ganijanov. Can't quite find a mark, and now Woo Kyung-yun for the recovery. Fahad Simuri. Still Fahad. Stolen away. Kinzatashi over to Kushan Ganijanov. Does have Karmashirup on the line, but Chong Lee doing well covering it up. And now Alijanov sent down with a shot from Philip Eugene, which buys Thimphu City some much needed breathing room on their end. Again, despite the contact coming in from Philip Eugene at the final stretch, it was a clean defensive possession coming in from DRUKPA. Did not allow a single passing lane to open, and now Bella may have a task up front for him. Ksherup too strong against Woo Kyung-yun. Sadiq Suli has Organ down the line. Jonathan in the middle as well with a lot of space, setting it up for Karmashirup for that left foot. Opts for a pass instead towards the flank. Tawa on the edge, steadily making progress in. Left foot, chips it in. Header! Jonathan Surila finally gets his name as a goal scorer at the end of an assist. And Thimphu City will finally get themselves up on the scoreboard, and the team celebration on top of that too. An effort marvelously executed from the citizens. We will get the first celebrations of the day as DRUKPA got completely off guard. A clean series of passes this time, no bad decisions. Sadiq Suli right after his yellow card. Amazing setup again. That pass that went through to Dawa first, and then Dawa who paid it back, doubled it and gave it to the next person instead. Just behind Minshin. Bella too far out. As DRUKPA's backline just crumbled. Thimphu now lead. 10 minutes left to go in the first half. A lot of questions to be answered. What will be DRUKPA's first answer? Woo Kyung-yun played back. Sachin Jha. Kinlerabge's header keeps it towards Kinzatashi. And now Sherup back to Kinzan. Look at this. Touches coming in from Thimphu. And now finally we are seeing an amazing touch coming in from Sadiq Suli. That is the quality I was talking about. That was on full display in the first couple of games of Thimphu's season. Eventually stopped using Sadiq Suli more of as a target man. Opted more for him as a runner. But right now that same quality does seem to be back. Had two awful touches in the first few minutes of the game. But nice to know he still has it. Alijanov played over to Kushan. Unfortunate. Taken over. Woo Kyung-yun. And now back out to Minshin. So far, Minshin's passes yet to find their mark. For Simuri hasn't been the recipient of a long ball for so long. Sadiq Suli has Organ making a clean run down on the flank. Did not really see him, but again an awkward angle to play a pass up. Rabge a bit late to the challenge. Tashi keeps it towards Jonathan. but the reckless challenges coming in from DRUKPA will finally warrant a whistle. Sadiq Suli. Again, off topic, but I've heard many people say that he looks like Dembele, and slowly looking at him does really have similar features the more you look at him. Geno up high in the air. What was that jump? The centre back. Again, the athleticism simply surreal. Tawa, this time in the middle. May get the touch first before Philip Eugene, able to keep it towards himself as well. And now Kamashir upon the other end. Misjudged that ball slightly, and now Woo Kyung-yeon over to the end. Chong Lee keeps it up in the air. Kinzatashi the first to get to it. Kushan Ganejanov the recipient again. So far no success. DRUKPA has switched things around. They have brought in Ishe over to the left and switched for Hatsimuri over onto the right for a bit more hope. Woo Kyung-yeon played it over to Ishe. Philip Eugene able to recover, but a ledge on off, a bit reckless with that extended right foot. It will be DRUKPA now with an advantageous opportunity inside THIMPHU's half. With the chance to regroup, it is much better odds coming their way. But again, THIMPHU City right now the team with the least goals conceded across the entirety of the tournament. Even beating Paro, who have conceded 9. THIMPHU City right now throughout their record have only conceded 8, I believe. Does stand for the amazing team aggressiveness, but right now a main reason of that record is Jitin Doji with his amazing ball winning ability and his heart and pace. But he is on the bench right now, so a lot to do for the rest. Equally matched in terms of stature. Does get a foot in from Philip Eugene, but no proper contact. Gets that ball over to Tsering Tendom. Again up front, but the flag was up, so that entire motion will be denied. Barun played towards Jimmy. Again, off topic, but Jimmy Tenzin and his flexibility, his adaptability, no matter what role you put him in, is just amazing. Started off as a centre back alongside Bella down in the qualifiers. Was moved up to a midfield role. Time and time again, while Minchin was out, he was moved to as the centre back again. And now playing on the right back position. Really hard to do, different philosophies for each position, as simple as it may look to the ordinary eye. But again, by no means is what he doing the easiest. Now, THIMPHU City kept on side. Sadiq Suli making a promising run. Has Organ for help as well. Decided to send it inside. But Sachin Jha had that fully covered. Crucial saves coming in from the DRUKPA goalkeeper. But look at that, Sadiq again. A lot weighing on his mind right now. Tied alongside Yomi, Yuta Mishima and Rinjin Toji. Up at 10 goals. May have wanted to separate himself up at the top. But will have to wait for a bit longer, as it will be a retreat all the way to a corner for THIMPHU City. Jonathan to set it up. Jonathan. It is a nice delivery. Header does connect, but it is the other way. Sadiq Suli tried his best adjusting with that overhead, but got that ball a bit too under. Pressure was coming in from a challenge from Woo Kyung Yun as well, so should have bothered him quite a bit to send it that high up. Chance again. Jonathan did send it straight towards Min Shin. Chong Lee up front towards Philip Eugene. Fahad Simuri on the flank. Does get it towards Fahad. Finally, left foot. Cross goes all the way over to the other end for a THIMPHU City throw-in. Cheno Endo plays it up front. Sadiq Suli entangled against Minchin. Will find no leverage to get to that ball. Bella was there anyways. Bella. Fahad Simuri has Chong Lee up in the middle. Woo Kyung Yun on the flanks. Bella. Again, that is exactly what I was talking about. Bella recently has been making a lot of mistakes with those short passes. Has been way too soft, and as such has been giving it away more towards his oppositions than to his teammates. What a header it was from Philip Eugene! The verticality combined between the two teams, simply spectacular today. Fahad Simuri, again, that is the creativity I was talking about early on in their season. DRUKPA FC did not have this in their arsenal, in their pockets. With Matthew Musa, Leon Sullivan and Philip Eugene, it was a run, give it to a teammate and then shoot, which got them so many goals. And even that first upset versus Paro. And right now, Fahad Simuri single-handed in locking a completely new aspect to their game. Has made it a wonderful watch, but right now too many mistakes are coming in from DRUKPA, as Sorgen plays a ball in towards Tawa. Right foot loaded, Bella committed, Tawa still in possession. Taking that ball all the way over. Smart enough again, the second time he's won a corner this way. Corner comes in, header, sends it away. Bella clutching at the back of his head. Was it friendly contact? Bella seems to be up, but Philip clutching onto that right eye of his. Again, so easy to fracture your skull off of these sorts of headers. these sorts of contacts. Now back in play, Philip still getting evaluated, still down on the ground, but DRUKPA. Well, Philip does seem like he will be good to go, steadily approaching the sidelines, but right now it is THIMPHU City in possession, not quite the burden without losing a defender. Time and time again we've seen up here in the tournament. That while you have a centre back injured, it does open up a lot of advantages for the opposition, having a man up. But not much we can do. Again, those are the rules, as it will go right back out to Sachinja. Now in midfield, looking to put a bit more use of his leg, but 2 minutes up. More, in fact, with that collision. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, we exit the first half. THIMPHU City leading by 1 against DRUKPA FC's 0. Right now, the home team are in complete shambles. Hopefully, that is addressed by the time we have to feel the ground for the second half. But until then, it has been a fun watch so far. Both teams, THIMPHU City especially, putting up a lot of decent efforts. But that will be it for the first half. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your support. Do let me know what you think will be the change that will come in the second half. Until then, this was your commentator, Guntesh Toji. See you guys when we're back in action in the second half. Ladies and gentlemen, Kuzangpo, and welcome to the second half of the showdown between THIMPHU City and DRUKPA FC, where THIMPHU leads right now 1 goal up against DRUKPA's 0. 3 substitutions made for DRUKPA FC, who have brought in Kinchut Topge, beloved Nyakam, number 13 Sangirechan, and number 88 Rehan Raji Palatu Mittal. Hopefully those 3 names will prove to be pivotal in helping out with the offensive workload of DRUKPA FC, of which right now has been simply nil, except for that one ambitious header coming in from Philip Eugene. It was Fahad Timuri who set it up, so that may be the avenue they are looking to operate through. Again, the same wavelength hopefully comes back alive again, as right now we have Chieno and Joe down out of frame. Sadiq Suli sent down, double team from Minchin and Woo Kyung Yun. But may not be a chance they want to give away that often, as right now THIMPHU City are simply being surgical. Of course not efficient, a lot of chances they created but only got 1 on the board. But again, that volume eventually will pay off dividends quite soon, as a head up misses Sadiq Suli. Well, thought it was Bella who had last contact, but seems like it will be a goal kick for Sachin Jha. Slightly late. Kinzatashi can't get out with the escape. Woo Kyung-hyun back to Bella. Kinch has Fahad Timuri up in front of the line. Jimmy making that run up front. Fahad tries to keep it away from Jonathan, but that challenge just a bit too rough coming in from Fahad Timuri. Again, last match Jonathan was the recipient of the red card versus DRUKPA. Hopefully he is able to keep his calm today. So far only 1 yellow card, which has come the way of Sadiq Suli up front. Jignam to play it up front. Sadiq Suli again entangled against Min Shin. A lot of difference when it comes to frame. Min Shin obviously the sturdier one, but Sadiq Suli's lankiness really helping him out keep possession alive. Jimmy Tenzin floats one in all the way up. Over to Philip Eugene, and DRUKPA still no success penetrating past that amazing back line of THIMPHU City. Early on, their biggest success came in off of the flanks from Fahad Timuri, who gave a delivery in towards Philip Eugene. But right now, Fahad, who started over on the left wing, shifted over to the right where he had the most success, has now moved on centrally to get a bit more help in possession in midfield for DRUKPA FC. Will it be the right answer? Remains to be answered. But right now, DRUKPA are doing well, holding on to position, but THIMPHU City no advantage down on the flanks. Kinzatashi up front. Got tangled up. Kushan Ganejanov trying to play it around Chong Lee, but they do get the escape. And now DRUKPA with the ball up front. There's pass Lejanov and towards Tsering Tendo. Organ, unfortunate touch, takes it way too far up front, and now over on the flanks, towards Sering, looking for that one-on-one versus Jimmy. Has the advantage, Jimmy down on the ground, cross comes in finally, maybe a setup. Left foot opens up right for Kinzang, but does not take the shot. Dribbling around inside the opposition box, and now Organ with the final header cleared off by Min Shin. Lacking the drive to get that finish off, THIMPHU City will not even get a shot off. John played over to the flank. Kushan Ganejanov up front. Sadiq Suli their target, but Bella able to clean it up. Does get it towards Fahad Timuri, even though they cannot keep it down to the ground for themselves. Jimmy. Again, sheer amazement coming in from the number 10 for DRUKPA. Centre back, wing back, midfield. He can do it all. And although a harsh challenge came in on Jignam, DRUKPA does offer their possession up, but again, just look at that, Jimmy and Philip Eugene. Not quite the malicious intent, but did have his entire weight on the number 11 for THIMPHU City, Jignam. Jignam still down again. Have to respect the sportsmanship coming from DRUKPA. No foul on that challenge against Jignam, but did at least give possession away to make sure Jignam was okay before they proceeded. And with that, DRUKPA back in possession. Chong Lee back over to Bella. Minshin. Bella played long this time. His long pass almost found accuracy down on the flanks. Rehan Rajiv, typically their starting wing back, signed in alongside Fahad Timuri, made their debut in fact, 77 and 88 in their match versus RTC up at the RTC artificial turf, but since then has been an option off of the bench, while Fahad has been a frequent name in the starting 11. There was a 2-game stretch recently where Rehan Rajiv was called on to the starting 11, but came in off the bench today as Tsering took a bit of risk taking his sweet, sweet time. But again, look at the sweet, sweet touch up front from Sadiq Suli. Fahad Timuri, just unfortunate, had that shot taken away before it could ever mature, and it will go right back out to Tsering without much hustle. Stolen away. Kincho did get his first touches of the game, but Sadiq Suli down possession the other way for THIMPHU City. Kinza shields it away brilliantly from the incoming Nyakam. Jonathan. Chieno into Kinza. Almost felt like it was Bakar Rome down on the ground with the shoulder that came in against DRUKPA. But rest assured, Uzbeki is still on the bench. Fahad Timuri, left foot keeps it towards. Well, Kinchutobge now. Left foot comes in as a cross. Kushan Ganejanov able to hit it off, and now Kinzatashi for the calm clearance, but missed the landing, missed the touch. DRUKPA blessed with possession. That challenge reckless from Sherup. We're going to closer look. Just blows his way through the first. And right in front of the referee, so an easy call there, as DRUKPA will earn themselves a fortune in the moment of possession. Fahad Timuri and Kencho to set it up. They do have capable targets. Minchin joining the fray, Bella as well, Jimmy and Philip Eugene. An intimidating lineup, none of them shorter than 180 centimeters. Awkward clearance there from Tsering Dendu, but does get the job done. A legend of headers it. Passed away. Chong Lee looking to keep it alive. Still inside the box. Min Shin. Clear off again in a quick succession of touches. Makes it way towards Sogen, who cannot find Tawa. On the other end, intercepted away by Chong Lee. And now DRUKPA turns it over again. Hasty possessions from both ends. And at the end of it all, THIMPHU City will be blessed with an amazing possession. It is an amazing chance, but can they find success on top to cap it off? Fahad Timuri single-handedly trying up front to get themselves back up in this game, but right now without success. It is still desperate struggles, clawing at straws. Down on the sidelines, they do get a brilliant cross in. Philip Eugene does have the aerial ability, but too far back out. It will go out for THIMPHU City. Woo Kyung-hyun signaling for his team to put a bit of pressure up. Dawat Tsering responsible for the outlet and the escape. It is stolen away inside the box. It is Nyakam. Fahad! Amazing positioning from 77. Told you to keep your eyes on the man, and he does it again. Kincho's shot, as rushed as it was, created just enough havoc inside that box for Fahad to find a way in and through. And with that, the game has been brought level, 1 each. "57 minutes in, and look at that response. Chieno did well blocking it off, but Kushan Tsering Dendu there from City, but it was Fahad Timuri from DRUKPA who came out on top. Timber City, so many chances thrown away. And with that, their lead has vanished in an instant. DRUKPA looked very, very unlikely in the first half to come up with an answer, but chaos where they thrived is exactly what got them their goal back. Level at the hour mark could be anybody's game to take. A win here will be crucial. Again, a quick context before diving into the game. DRUKPA right now sit at 6th in the table. The chance to climb up 3 points alongside THIMPHU FC, their rivals. 19 points in 4th place. For Timber City, it will be their challenge to go band for band with Bhutan FC to hold them down. Right now, 7 points separate 2nd place Timber City from 1st place Bhutan. 3 points here would bring them down to 4, and a bit more reliance on the mistake from Bhutan would give them much more hope heading into the last match of the season, which is Timber City versus Bhutan FC. But if they fall short today, right after that draw versus Tirang, it could be a gruesome tale going forward, as Bhutan may enjoy a victory, celebrating the championship before it even ends. What? A strike again! No chance for Sitting Tendrum, and DRUKPA have turned the table around in an instant. Fahad strikes again! 3 minutes after his first goal of the game, he has found our second, and what an amazing one it was! Lights out from range, just look at that striker again! Did not have his body fully turned around, just sensed the opening pass, Sitting Tendrum, let it fly! What an effort from the man. 77 with a double gets DRUKPA the lead in the second half. An exciting turnaround as Timber City now on the back foot, may not want to play around too much, did get a lot of chances, threw them all away except for that one that came in from Jonathan. And now DRUKPA looking hot, getting a heat check up. They do get a cross up front. Flag stays down on Kencho Topke, who is looking to make a play past Lejanov. With that, Fahad is down. Doesn't really seem like it is something major, but again, the Indian, just amazing. Again, that is exactly what I was talking about when I said the new rule with regards to the regional players have simply made things a bit more spicy. Amazing signings. And Fahad has come alive especially, and now 2 substitutions for Timber City. Jitsin and Bakaro coming in for Kushan Ganejanov and Karma Sherup Tsering. Jimmy clears it away, but just barely. Chance on the other end, but THIMPHU City getting a bit too reckless, rushed it. Sachin Jha. 64 minutes in. We've already seen a quick turnaround here in this match. Again, right now, the quickest hat-trick here in this season is a record for Buck Rome, number 9, who's joined in for THIMPHU City down on the flank. 14 minutes all it took versus Ugen Academy, I believe. Yep, Ugen Academy, where he had his hat-trick 14 minutes in. And right now, THIMPHU City clean ball in, but it is cleared off by Min Shin. Got that trajectory, read like a book. Denied that contact with Sadiq Suli from ever happening. But again, right now, the record for the fastest hat-trick, 14 minutes. Still inside the 10 minutes of seeing the first goal from Fahad Timuri. So that is still a record we are chasing. Again, to those of you unaware, the record before that was Karmajam Sutashi over from DRUKPA FC, who had that first record open up 3 goals second half for DRUKPA in an amazing victory. But since then hasn't really seen much action. But right now DRUKPA may want to focus a bit more on defense. Chaos gets that ball past everybody else. And now Tawa whips it in. Header from Min Shin comes in clutch. Jonathan out towards Bakaro. They will get to try again, but now Jimmy with a clean pass out keeps it way too short, and Tawa gets it off of a touch from Chieno into a Lijon off inside, gets it towards Jonathan, left foot over the crossbar and out. Close string of calls coming in from THIMPHU City, who want revenge, want their lead back, but right now that is a far-fetched dream. Still inside, Philip Eugene able to keep it towards Kenchatop Gate, who sends it first time, but ends up over hitting it without a care in the world. Jimmy, clean tackle, delayed that possession just long enough. Dawa has possession inside, that feint gets Chongli away from the mark, and now Jonathan involving Bakarom over on the other end. Right foot comes in, driven and sent off by Rehan Rachif. Rehan Rachif, solid impact coming off of the bench for the game today. DRUKPA may not want to imagine what would have happened if that pass went through, but right now they have a solid task up in front. Jonathan, chaotic right hand side, a Lijon off, able to hit it clear, but right now man down for DRUKPA FC. Philip Eugene, the second time he's been impacted on the right side of his head. Earlier it was much more frontal towards his eye socket. Right now seems like it is a bit off to the side. Again on screen right now, the Indian talent Fahad Timuri. Two already on the board for Fahad Timuri, 2 for DRUKPA. THIMPHU City so close to finding their response, but has seen none yet. Touch keeps it away. And now Jitin. Look at that, hard to beat it man while he has that ball on a literal string. Amazing amazing explosiveness with those dribbles coming in from the number 7. Always an entertaining stretch to watch him play. But right now, THIMPHU City have Organ at the helm. Past Bella. Had a goal from the defender. And that is enough to deter the City captain from making a play past Sachin Jha. Kincho right inside the box. A legend of taking on that assignment. Cross comes in towards Fahatimuri. Just keeps it away from himself. But THIMPHU City the chance to respond back in kind. Organ tried to thread it through towards Sadiq Suli. Did not find success, and now they will try again. Jitin in midfield looking to play it past Jimmy. But again, so many interceptions coming in from the number 10 for DRUKPA. But that will not matter as possession is for THIMPHU City in midfield. Tower sitting. Jonathan! Did not take long at all. THIMPHU City has brought this match level again. To add to the scoreline, 70 minutes in. 10 minutes it took for THIMPHU City to find a response in. A brace both sides. Jonathan with his second will deny the two from Fahatimuri, and back to square one we go. Just amazing from Tawat sitting. Got it past Jimmy, got it past Chong Lee, and Jonathan, who has been the man to do it all today, does it again. A complete turnaround from the first half, where it was DRUKPA completely on the back foot. But right now, those two goals seem like it has rubbed off on THIMPHU City. Finally, a bit more efficiency coming in for THIMPHU City, who had so many chances early on. But right now, with this match heated up, both teams going for momentum checks. Good go anyways. Sangirinchin did a bit too much, and now Jingnam Seltop to play it up front towards Sadiq Suli. 14 versus 4. A matchup we have been living for the entirety of this game. Tangled up again, but the Korean at fault this time will give a chance over to THIMPHU City on the other end. A couple of unnecessary words coming in from Min Shin. Referee Choki wanting a couple of words over with the Korean. But does let him off with a warning. And with that, Jonathan the chance to complement his 2 goals with an assist. His deliveries have been impeccable today. Woo Kyung Yun messing with Jonathan a little bit. Chance again. A lot of targets. Barchrome, despite lacking in stature, could go for it with his physical advantage, with his strength. But Sadiq Suli and Chien, or possibly the targets today. Philip Eugene and Minchin Bella do have a lot of pressure mounted on their shoulders right now. Who will come out on top? Jonathan has the whistle. It is straight. Cleared out by Chong Lee out towards Tao, who is unable to keep it towards himself. Throw in for THIMPHU City, who will now have to face a bolstered backline from DRUKPA. Jonathan is a decent ball up front towards Sadiq Suli, but now he is trapped down on the corner flag Forced one in towards Jonathan, or maybe even Bakrom, but Organ able to retrieve it. Bella. Accurate long ball up towards Kencho, unable to keep it towards Fahad. It is a clean outlet from a legend of Kenza. Tried to switch it over. Jimmy may have made a mistake, but again, as has been the case for this match, is able to redeem himself. Quick feet coming in from Jitsin. Hard to beat him in those sorts of situations. Masterful dribbling from Jitsin. Gets it towards Tawa. Left foot. Cleared over by Bella. A chance again on the other end, but Bakrom will let it roll. Had Sadiq Suli right inside at the end of a clean ball in from Tawa. Bella working very, very hard to send that ball away. But getting right back up. Pressure still on against DRUKPA. Enjoyed a clean stretch of possessions up front, but right now has been a while since DRUKPA has been on the offensive. Possible mistake. Rehan Rajiv able to clear it off again, but it is kept by THIMPHU. Not for long. Right inside. Organ may get a chance. It is Jonathan. Tried to spin it away, but too many bodies coming in against THIMPHU and their motion up front. And out of that chaos, DRUKPA finally get a bit of a breathing room. Tawa. Get it towards Organ, who will keep it up in the air. Bella, two shot. Jignam Seltop has help coming in from Tawa. Jignam and Tawa. Philip Eugene and Jimmy Tenzin taking the mark, but left foot opens up for Tawa, who floats it all the way around. Header from Bakrom. Jonathan unable to put a bit of force and power behind that header. Set it up in the air instead, and Sachin Jha with an easy save for Hard with a chance on the other end. But DRUKPA momentum long since evading their efforts now find it really difficult, but flag up. It will be DRUKPA's ball to take. Also, in the meanwhile, DRUKPA FC making a sub. 28. Karma Tashi coming in for Jimmy Tenzin. Again, before Bakrom, this man was the guy to set the record for the fastest hat-trick.
Substitution for DRUKPA FC, just number 10, Jimmy Tenzin, makes replaced by
Last game, their first matchup versus THIMPHU City was one of the recipients of the 6 yellow cards in that match. Bakrom plays it in. Jonathan has Sadiq Suli down on the flanks. Gets a clean pass over. Tawa on the other end if they want to play a long ball out. Cross comes in from Bakrom. Tawa does well keeping it under control. Right foot is a feint. Right foot still. Close score, but shot never came from THIMPHU City. Sachin under a lot of stress, but again will be ever so grateful that none of those feints ever connected, and with the challenge connecting late, it will be a yellow card over. Right behind the halfway line, it is Bella looking to play it long for DRUKPA. Bella putting a bit of flair on that ball that held back way too much for Philip Eugene to find any sort of advantage, and now Rehal Rajiv played towards Philip Eugene. No advantage down the flanks. THIMPHU City able to take it clean, and now Jitsin a bit late with that outlet. It was an easy read coming in, but THIMPHU do manage to salvage the situation somehow. Bakrom now over on the left has Tawa driving straight in. Sadiq Suli may want to come a bit central. Inside the box, left foot cuts back in for no help. Jonathan too deep, Tawa too far behind. That pass straight in the middle of those two goes over for an advantage for DRUKPA, which they cannot hold on to. Sadiq Suli. Jonathan over to Tawa. But aware that he was offside, let it roll for a bit of hope for Sadiq Suli, who is unable to get to that ball in time. But again, too far forward for any realistic hope for the forward. But again, every close-up just reinforces what people have been saying. He really does look like Dembele. Just something off topic, but can't help but mention it when you look at his face. Tieno, a bit rough with that header against Kencho. DRUKPA. Straight past Bella out of the stadium and back towards Sering Dendrup. So far, 81 minutes on the clock. 2 goals from Fahad Timuri. 2 goals from Jonathan Zorella. As Tawa, strong enough to keep playing. Bakrom able to take it over down to the line. Keeps it barely. Well, flag was up. It will be Sachin Jha's possession. Less than 10 minutes remain, but again, has been like time has passed by in a blur. Given the sheer excitement here in this match, we do have a solid turnaround, a solid turnout here at Changlemitang as well. So far, they have been rewarded with a treat from the two teams, but again, a draw is the result that will help neither. A win will be what both teams will be hunting for. Jitin gets a fortunate deflection for a continued throw-in from Organ. Sadiq Suli using his pace down on the line, but cleared it off proper. Organ. Throw in, play strong into the box. Minchin may want to clear it off as quick as he can, able to do so, but now Tieno Endo with the ball. Play it over to Organ. Looking for a cross in, can't get it over Bella. Bakrom quick to his feet, finds advantage, pokes it towards Jonathan. Man down, but play will continue on, and Sachin able to recover. Clean challenge, says the referee. But possession stolen away immediately. Jitin strong enough to shield that ball away. Nimble enough as well to keep it towards Dawa. Jitin right inside for a lot of space for Kinza. Wide out. And DRUKPA's ball in will be. Plenty of power, but DRUKPA. Not quite sure if there was any major contact against Philippe Eugene, but is able to sell that goal enough. Possession for DRUKPA in the last 5 minutes of the game, and they will continue on buying just a bit more time. Bella back over to the flank. Rehal Rajiv. Organ closing in, but the cross goes in nonetheless. Dangerous ball had to from DRUKPA, making it look very, very dangerous, but it was a red shirt that set it out. Last 5 minutes of that game. Whose side will victory smile upon? Chitin over to Kinza Tashi. Had the chance to make it 3, but Kinza just had to send it out. Couldn't quite keep his emotions under control, and that ended up sending it out quite wildly, in fact. And now Tawa, really instrumental to THIMPHU City's build-up today, sends it towards Backroom on the left, one-on-one versus Woo Gyong Yun. But smashed away by Kencho, appealing for a last touch from Backroom, but it will be THIMPHU City's possession. Chance for THIMPHU City to make it 3 and possibly get the win. Can DRUKPA defend well enough? There's the corner, whipped in, sent out by DRUKPA, rushing to recover possession and a bit more hope. They do play it up, but it is too far out from Kencho. Couldn't keep it towards Vahad. Couldn't keep himself disciplined on that outlet. It will be THIMPHU City with one more lethal possession. Tawa, really amazing what he's done today. Can he continue on doing it again? So many chances he's been creating down on the flank. Is able to get around Sange. Left foot. Off the crossbar and out. Ever so close to a third from Jonathan. But just came short. Again, look at that creation from Tawa. Just fantastic. Not quite sure if it was intentional again, but possibly had the read that Bella was not going to commit to the challenge up in the air and would instead go towards the goal to block off shots. Ended up working perfect for a lot of space for Jonathan, who only had to deal with Rehal Rajiv right behind. But the last 2 minutes of the game, THIMPHU City sent down. It will be possession going the way for the citizens. DRUKPA on defense. For DRUKPA FC, who are far and out of contention for first place. A draw will be a result good enough to at least keep them away from relegation zone and still stay in the top flight of the table. But for THIMPHU, who are looking to contest for first place against Borough, a victory will be the minimum standard they are to expect from this match. As Chitin does not rush, makes the clean outlet towards Tawa. Can he find success again? Left foot! Does come in, but a missed header again from Jonathan. Back-to-back headers set up accurately again. Look at the pinpoint read from Tawa. Just past mentioned, Backroom was up in the air. But now DRUKPA has a man down, trying to buy a bit more time. They are doing their best to shave off any possible possessions from THIMPHU City, as we are only seconds away from additional time. stretcher has been carried in. Referee Choki having none of the delaying tactics from DRUKPA. 5 more minutes of additional time, but again, if DRUKPA continue on, buying a bit more time, shaving a bit more time off of the clock, does feel like we will get a bit of mercy from the referee, but DRUKPA right now preparing to shave off a couple more seconds with one more substitution. City right now 7 points away from Paro. They have the chance to make it a 4-point deficit. But that will have to bank on a lot of luck, as we have a yellow card towards Sachin Jha. DRUKPA in possession, get a ball clean up, run towards Philippe Eugene. And with that, Fahad Silmuri, the lone trailblazer for DRUKPA, is being subbed out for Devo Atokpam. All the way back towards Sering Tendrup, took a bit of a risk with that. But now they do get that ball up front to Sadiq Suli, who is able to take it away from Chong Lee. And now a legend of in their offensive efforts, played back towards Tawa. He has been magical for the entirety of the game. Can he continue to do so this time? Trying his luck centrally. Makes a mistake, but it is stolen off by Jitsin for a clean recovery. Tawa will get to try again. THIMPHU City will not be able to create a chance of that possession, and DRUKPA will get ball back. Chieno's head up, able to find Jonathan. Had 2 amazing chances with those headers to give THIMPHU City the lead. Again, Tawa, just amazing those passes. Hard to miss, but did his level best. THIMPHU City, can they get one more chance, or will DRUKPA hold on to this draw until the very end? Organ in towards Sadiq Suli. Situation feels dangerous. Sadiq Suli winding up that left foot, feints it in instead, and now DRUKPA has a man down, but it is their possession, may want to get right back up. Min Shin, and now DRUKPA. Chance down on the flanks, flag is up. Jonathan, still Jonathan. Off with that pass, a lot of angles he could have chosen. Chose the most difficult one, and it will go right back out to Sachin Jha. Sadiq Suli gets a clean pass up to Jitsin. Can they make something out of it? Back to Jitsin. Jonathan over down the flank. Sadiq Suli right inside, took that touch away from his body, and DRUKPA able to clear it off just in time. 30 seconds remain. Maybe the last possession of the game for THIMPHU City. Picked up by Sachin Jha, and now THIMPHU City should have their hopes properly dealt with. DRUKPA confident they can end this match with a draw. No longer any time to work with. Throw in for THIMPHU City. And with that, the whistle to signal the end of the match has been blown by the referee. 2-2 the scoreline today. An amazing effort put up by both teams, especially DRUKPA FC, who just came alive through Fahad Timuri. 2 goals to his name, Jonathan 2 goals to his name again, but then even more amazing has been Dawa. But unfortunately, THIMPHU City couldn't get the win. Same for DRUKPA, but a draw ain't the worst result for DRUKPA FC. THIMPHU City on the other end, one more setback in their path this season to challenge Paro FC. All they can do now is hope that Paro faces a bit of a fumble in their campaign as well. But 2 amazing efforts. I'm not quite sure who the man of the match will be between Jonathan Dawa and Fahad Timuri. But just an amazing explosion in the second half. So many chances THIMPHU City missed. A lot of regret will be hanging heavy in the air for the citizens. But with that, ranks remain unchanged. DRUKPA still at 6th, THIMPHU City still at 2nd. And until the next one, this was your commentator, Ugintesh Toji. Thank you for your time, thank you for your love and support. See you guys when we're back in action for the Tensung game. Until then, peace out.
Reason